Pranakasha live stream.
Hey folks, it's Matt from Pranakasha Productions, and today we're doing another lesson with Benjamin. Today we're going to do the second movement of my cello concerto, and this is dedicated to Andre von Herren, who's a composer, a living composer, who I admire very much. And I tried my best to kind of imitate his style when I wrote this, and of course whenever you do that, it's more like you're just inspired by that person. So I don't think it ended up sounding that much like Andre's music, but hopefully something like what I was trying to get. So it's still Matt Weiss, right? But also, the interesting thing about this movement is that my teacher Benjamin right here was the one who inspired me to write this, because originally I had another piece which is now completely called The Fantasy for Cello and Orchestra, which has already been performed a couple of years ago by Chris Warswick, a very talented cellist in the Seattle area. Anyhow, Chris performed it with the Octava Chamber Orchestra during one of our summer concerts. And my intent was to use that as the second movement of this concerto, but then once we started working on the first movement, Benjamin was like, well, can we see the second movement? And I'm like, here. And he's like, that's way too hard. For considering how hard the first movement is. And but I said, well, too bad, because I wrote it and it's done and I'm not changing it. And he said, well, no cellist would ever be able to play this. And I said, well, I'll do it. And he said, well, I don't think you can. Meanwhile, while we were arguing, I was already starting to think of things to do. And then I think by the end of then I finally said, okay, I'll write a different movement. I'll write a different slow movement. Basically, something that's going to be beautiful, but also gives the cellist a chance to kind of chill out and just play some beautiful music, but relax a bit from all the fireworks from the first movement. And so, to make a long story short, while we were arguing about it, I already got an idea for the main theme of this movement. And I was like, oh, okay, I've got an idea. I'll start working on it. And so I kind of furiously started composing it like the next day. And by the next week, it was done. In fact, in 5 days after that first argument Benjamin and I had, it was done, and it was completely scored out. And when I mean done, it was completely done. The orchestra and the solo part and everything. So this is like the fastest I've ever written a piece of that scope. And but it's great, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud with how it came out, and it fits way better. It's a much better movement than the previous one. So it's like, it's all good. So now the challenge is to learn how to play it in a way that does justice to this piece that I recently composed. So I wrote on it, each movement has a date that indicates when it was finished. And so like the date for this movement was January 3rd, 2022, which is just a few months ago. So there you have it. Movement number 2. Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny how, like, when I was proposing solutions to maybe writing another movement, you were making another movement while simultaneously arguing about it.
Yeah, that's how the human brain works. It's, yeah. So, and then, okay, so I want to say, so the idea is, okay, so the main theme is what we're going to work on today to start off with. So it's this. Without that little hiccup at the end. But that actually is based on a theme in the first movement. It's based on this theme in the first movement. Let's see if I play it. Let's see if you guys can see the relationship. So this is like the second theme. This is like all the fireworks on the first page. Then it calms down a bit and the cello gets to play something lyrical, which goes like this. And so on and so forth. So anyways, it was based on that. So you can probably hear it. The da 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 dum ba da dee dum ba ba became da pa pum pa pa pum pa 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 dum pum pa pa. So you can see how they relate. So once I realized that, I'm like, okay, now we're rolling. This completely is a piece that fits. It makes sense within the overall concerto. So that's where we're at. So now let's see if I can play it. It's supposed to be molto espressivo and everything and glorious, yet somehow also be piano. So let's see if I can do it. How was that?
It's good. Just like at the very end, bum, ba-dum, like 1, 2, 3, ba-dum. Like just like you have a little bit more space to shift back comfortably, so don't rush it.
Yeah, and also it still sounds a little thin to me. It's not. Maybe it's because I'm a little constrained in here because this table's in the way. But I don't feel like, okay, so for one thing, the piano we're taking totally with a grain of salt. So, I mean, I'm just going to play it with my biggest projecting tone. So, piano is just going to be a mood rather than a volume level. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Was that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Just be a little bit more plain stated, I'd say, at the beginning. Don't go too gushy.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
So that way, when you get to the other variation that comes later, like where you're playing a little bit more sweetly, like it'll at least have a bit more of a kinder relationship.
Okay, so a little bit more plaintive at the beginning.
Well, yeah, like let it be beautiful in its own right.
Okay. I think we can let that go for now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, like let's cover a bunch of material because there's a lot of fascinating parts in this last movement. So we don't want to get hung up on the first 8 measures.
Okay, like we did last video that we. Okay, so we already. Okay, to be truthful, we actually did this video about 2 weeks ago, but then I started going off and saying a bunch of stuff all that had nothing to do with the video, and we decided it was a little bit too off the subject and a little too controversial, so we junked it. So this is the video take 2. All right, here we go. Oh, shit. Sorry. Well,
Yeah, like just the last one, da 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 dee da dum. That one in bar 49. Like I would not go 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, then shift into it. Like try to close that one because it sounds too bo-wee da dum. It sounds a little too comical. Unless you're trying to be very
that's
funny.
supposed to be comical. No.
So do it. Okay, shift cleaner.
Well, I just choked on it. I didn't play it very well at all. Maybe I should do that. 1, 1,
That's what
3.
that's what I said. Do that. So that
Okay.
way, it's in the pocket.
Okay, well, yeah, in the pocket, we like that. So 1, 1, 3, and not even really do a shift. Is that better?
Yeah, that was a lot better.
I'm gonna go back.
No, but like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
It can't sound scared. It's supposed to sound glorious.
You're trying to put too much stuff on top of stuff. So just like go for the function of it. Don't go try making it beautiful. It already is beautiful. Like you've made a very nice, beautiful melody. Don't try to make it even more beautiful.
Okay.
It's just going to become too much icing on top of icing. So just like, just go for ease and comfort, and then the rest of it will speak for itself.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Okay. Let's go back to B now so we can do the whole thing. Oops. My headphones rattled there. Oh, damn it. So maybe I should do 1, 1 there too.
I mean, I think
That felt good.
if you want to do it, absolutely. You don't have to feel compelled. What you did before was fine. It was just the very final one that was like, okay, like a little too much of the same flavor.
Well, I missed the note. It was out of tune. So 1, 1 helps me get that fourth finger better. So,
Yeah, there we go. That sounded nice.
okay, that was passable.
Yeah, that was passable. Like, just don't try to go for extra. Like, it's not going to work out for you. Just,
Can I do that last little bit just to see if I can do a little better? Yeah?
when you get to the intervals at the end, let them speak. You're leaving them too soon. And don't press your bow. Just pull. Pull the bow across the string. Let them be lyrical.
Okay, are you talking about the sixth? Or just
Yeah, the
everything?
sixth.
Okay.
Yeah, no, just, well, I mean, yes, in general and everything, but especially for the sixth, they sounded a little pressed on my end.
Okay. I did turn on the digital recorder, right? I think I did. So the reason why is because I'm using these bone headphone thingies, which are good because I can hear myself, which is way better for this, but the sound of the cello through these sounds terrible. But that's why I have this, so that I can mix in the sound from the digital recorder, which actually gets a pretty nice sound for the cello. So hopefully that'll all work. Okay, so where were we? Oh, this. Not this. Ah, darn it. See, I'm a little constrained because I feel like I'm about to smack this microphone. So it's, and let's see if I can go this way a little. That feels better now. Oh, pfft. Okay, let's do the right fingerings.
there. Just like never try to make yourself, don't press it out. Pull the sound out. Draw.
Okay. Okay. Next. Now let's see. Is this hopefully is not a bad page turn. Okay. Okay. Oh, darn it all. It's close, but I'm actually really not getting those notes. Okay. I'm missing notes. Darn it all. See, this
Give yourself more time in the shift. You're making the transitions an inconvenience rather than something that is part and parcel to playing.
Right. And the other problem is, I don't know, maybe this happens. I mean, this kind of happens to everybody, but like when you're the composer, I hear it in my head. And so sometimes I'm hearing what it's supposed to be, but I'm not really playing it. Until right now, in the lesson, I'm like, I missed half those notes. So now I have to think like a cellist, not like the guy who composed it. Let's go back. But it wasn't actually what the notes are supposed to be. Wait. Okay, maybe I'm not even doing it right.
Try shifting to your fourth finger instead for those ones. Da 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 dee da dee da. Actually, yeah. If you okay, like hold on a second. Never mind. Like the D sharp with your third finger, but then when you go to the E natural and D sharp, do that as 4-3.
We're talking about the bar before D.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just do that.
Yeah, well, you're shifting too much. Do the fingering that you're doing, except for the first two notes of the bar before D. Do 4-3.
Oh. There. Yeah, that's better. Okay, yeah, that's way better. Okay. It's almost May. I'm starting to feel the crunch. I'm starting to feel a little twinge in my stomach, like, uh-oh. The concert's gonna arrive pretty soon. And I better get this together. Alright, so let's go back to, let's see if maybe I should do something similar to that also here. I guess that's okay. Darn it! I'm still, what it is in my brain I haven't really believed in those notes yet. Okay, yeah.
I mean, just like it sounds like it's just like one of those things you just need to be a little bit more familiar with it. So don't overanalyze it, just practice it.
Okay, we'll just do one more time. That's better. One more time. Okay.
You're turning that 16th note at the beginning of every bar after D into a quarter or something.
I know it's almost like a dotted 16th followed by a couple.
Like,
of
are you
okay?
Are you doing that, and are people going to be able to follow you, or are you just wildly playing arrhythmic?
Yeah, I'm gonna call that rubato. It's appassionato. So okay, so let's see. So I'm playing it a little bit too slow. Damn it. So that's about what the tempo should be.
Okay, just like don't bend too much. If you're gonna like, I would say if you could try to play it more rhythmic, I would do so, but like just do a little, like emphasize with your bow. Don't emphasize so greatly with time.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a notation thing. I mean, that's kind of how I heard it, but I wrote it as 16ths. Maybe just out of, I mean, maybe I should have wrote it as the way I'm playing it. But I'm kind of like, you know how when you write a jazz chart, a lot of times you'll write it straight even though you sort of expect him to swing it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, like,
So here I pretty much, I mean, there's spots, like there's going to be later where the woodwinds imitate what I do, and I wrote 16ths, so they're going to play 16ths. But I'm the soloist, so, I mean, I'm not going to wreck the beat. Like, the conductor will be conducting like this, right? So if I steal a little bit from the first, I got to make it up. You know what I mean. That's, I mean, there, at that tempo, I'm trying to figure out the melody, right? Because the da-da-das are sort of an accompaniment figure, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, I absolutely understand. I just preach caution. The way that it was before, it was just very hard it can be very hard to follow. Just moderation.
Okay. Dial it back a tad, Hardinger. All right, so then, is there anything else, or do we want to keep going to the next page? Okay. So one good thing about this, so for one thing, there's nothing super technically hard in this movement. I mean, you still have to be a good cellist. You got to be facile, right? Because it does explore the full range, but there's nothing that's like obviously designed just to show off, like other areas in other concertos. You know, where you purposely write it where everybody goes, oh, "Wow, how'd you do that?" Okay. Anyway. So then the other thing is, again, I put in a lot of long tutti, so there's lots of chances for the soloist to rest a bit.
Okay.
But the Scotch tape all this music together, and now I'm kind of regretting I did that. Because it's going, you know, I might have to do what other people do, where you actually put it in a notebook. Just put it in a 3-ring binder.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and if you need to make those pages a little bit more starchy, just line them a little bit with like with a cardboard backing.
Yeah. Stop that. Okay, I think it'll be okay for now. Okay, this is after G. So now I'm here. Okay, I can play that better. Am I even playing the right notes? Okay, that's supposed to be an octave above where I just was. Now, so that's an E sharp, which should sound in F natural, which should be this note. So it was a tiny bit sharp, wasn't it?
Like just a tiny bit. Like, don't make your vibrato is getting very narrow and pushing you sharp. Like, turn it off a little bit.
Yeah, it's starting to become a violin vibrato again. Okay, let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, like better, right? A little bit more stable. Like,
Yeah.
I feel that you just turn vibrato on, and sometimes you forget yourself. Like, vibrato doesn't have to be a constant.
Yeah. Okay. Did it sound like it went tad sharp?
Here and there, because I think that you're very used to doing vibrato with the entirety of your forehand, like this part of your hand, like which pushes your notes sharper. So just like feel a little bit more loose in your arm in general, and you'll be a lot happier.
I tend to do that on violin too, because on violin I've made an effort to brighten up all my my intervals, And then, but when I listen to it on a recording, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I did that a little too much, because it actually sounds sharp now. Because I tend to brighten up my major thirds and my leading tones and stuff like that. So I gotta watch it. It kind of snowballs after a while. So here's H. How is that?
Better.
Good. Okay, let's go on. Whoops, let's make sure I'm playing the right notes. Darn it. I mean, these are easy chords, and I still didn't play them right. That's how it should have been. Let's do it again. That's what it's
So slower on the shift, da 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 dee, falling back.
Darn, that's sharp. This was supposed to be the most. This was double forte, super glorious, expansive, and all these things. Darn it!
shift, Matthew. That's the theme of tonight. Slower shift.
How was that?
Yeah, now can you just get rid of the glissando, please? Like, just like...
It's a romantic piece. This is Andre von Herren to the max. Yeah, I can have a tiny bit of slurp, right?
I mean, sure, but like if you do it for every... Like, this figure kind of happens a lot. You gotta choose where you're using it.
It does happen a lot.
Yeah, so you're using it all the time right now. Every single time you do it, you're doing it like that. So.
Okay, let's try it without the slurp. So basically, I just masked it with my bow.
Yeah, well, just don't make it so obvious. Just like, you know, play simply.
What if I like do an eyebrow thing during the shift so it'll distract them? Then they won't notice that the slurp.
I mean, nothing like could be worth trying.
Okay, let's go on. Okay. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay. Okay, am I playing the right notes? Now I have to do that one. Now it would be nice if I'd actually hit the note.
Yeah, slower. Pay attention. Like, you put glissandos in, pay attention to where you're going. Better.
That was a little more Heifetz-like.
Sure, but just like, listen to where it's going.
Oh, I overshot it. I'm trying to figure out what I wrote there. I think that's a 2D. There. Let's go back. Okay, so did you notice what my thumb did? I went, oops. So when you do that shift, how should the thumb?
Don't have your thumb behind. Don't leave your thumb behind. Shift with the entirety of your arm.
So the thumb should already be up?
Well, no.
No,
it's not like it has to be... Keep your elbow up and around the instrument, and then just reach. Do the reaching motion.
And then the thumb kind of naturally comes up like this, sort of?
Yeah, like that.
Not but kind of sort of like that, sort of. Oh, God. I don't know why I can't play this. It's not that hard. Let's go back. It ended good, but this was not really fully in tune. Okay, is this really the best fingering? I guess it is.
Well, I mean, like, just give yourself a little bit more time to get it.
Ooh, that sounded nice.
Oh, wait, hold on. You shouldn't, like, okay, once you're playing the F natural and B natural, you shouldn't have to shift after that.
I know. The problem is the F natural and B natural were the notes that I wasn't fully happy with. Until that last one. See, that That to me sounds really good.
You're not doing anything different from what I see written down.
Right. But for some reason, I'm now getting how to do it.
Yeah, you're just not shifting like a block. So like yeah, no, just try to feel more of the connection between things. You're kind of just dropping each note.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Did it sound like I was overpowering the instrument any?
A little bit. Like you have a tendency to overly press. So don't
Yeah.
press. Just like you're drawing sound out, not pressing it.
Okay, this time I'm going to try to get more of a resonant one.
There you go.
I think that was good, yeah. I could imagine it echoing in the hall. See, darn it. I mean, every time it's almost in tune, but it's not really super well in tune.
Get rid of the vibrato. It'll help solidify.
See, I want
Okay, so
that.
Matthew, again, you're doing the thing where you're like it's fine that you want to do it in some places, but every single time it gets a little long in the tooth.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. See, it sounds nice.
Well, thank you. Okay, now. Okay, now if it were a live performance, I'd live with that. But you know, it could be a little better.
Just move slower. You're trying to get everywhere too fast. Slow shift. Yeah, good. Now just don't make your vibrato go so wide that it distorts the tone at the end. Like, and bring your thumb closer to your hand.
Which thumb?
The left-hand thumb, when you shift upwards, your thumb was back here and it made this very wide, weird sounding vibrato. So just like more balance. See, bring your thumb closer to your hand. Why do you have it that far out? Yeah, even close. Like, no. Bring it down close to the string. Like, close to the string. Not up and back, just close to the hand and close to the string. Yeah, exactly. Now just, you're squeezing the vibrato. Loose.
I think that's why I did this, because somehow it made my hand feel more relaxed if I open up my thumb.
Well, keep your thumb close by, use gravity, and then wiggle your entire arm. Don't just wiggle your hand. That's already better, but like, yeah, that's the idea. But you're trying to do it all from the finger or just from the forehand. Use the entire arm, all the arm. Relax the elbow. Relax your left hand elbow. Yeah, now don't try to make it more special by making it go faster. It goes counterintuitive. Like,
the vibrato?
Yeah, like now that you've got the nice vibrato, you're thinking in your head, I can see the gears turning, that you want to make it faster. Don't. Just let it be nice. Let it be nice and resonant. It'll be fine. Yeah, now again, bring your thumb down closer to the string. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. We made it through the whole thing. Okay. So...
Oh, yeah, there's like 10 minutes or so left on the hour, so, like, I guess...
We could end the video early and not have an hour-long video.
We can do that. Is that what you want to do?
I think so. So we're going to say, live long and prosper. I also like your new haircut.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's
Courtesy.
nice.
Yeah, no, courtesy of things finally opening up
Pranakasha Production. Fantastic creations emerging spontaneously from the space of life. For the benefit of all beings everywhere. We gotta